When people come over here for the first time, people look up and think, how is this legal? Do you have people sign waivers to come over here?
Someone belay me. Belay on.
Belay is on.
Climbing.
The whole family climbs. We have raised our children to be climbers. They've all started about the age of 2 or 3. We've got 6 ropes, so we can fit 6 kids on it at a time. And a lot of times the kids will, climb up and down, or they can climb up and tie themselves off and just hang out up there. I've had my kids doing homework up there.
Adding a rock. Rock climbing initially brought us together. We literally met for the first time up on a rock climbing trip.
We actually both worked at the county park in Charleston. They have a big 50-foot rock climbing wall, so we both worked there while we were in school.
Gave myself lots of grace rocks coming down. We have been married 16 years, I think. We have been married 17 years.
I'm winning.
Tag back.
I have 4 children, 11, 9, 7, and 3 years old.
Lower me down, Mama.
I became pregnant with Gideon when I was still breastfeeding my other daughter. In about 20 weeks, we went in for the ultrasound and found out that something was wrong. The same day we found out he was a boy, we found out that he had a big tumor on the side of his neck, and they didn't know what it was, but they wanted to watch it closely. And then they started to get some guesses about what it might be, something called a lymphatic malformation. They knew that it was probably unsafe to deliver normally because it might strangle him. So I did a special C-section called an exit procedure where they put him immediately on a ventilator.
He spent most of the first year of his life in hospital.
We talked to doctors and specialists about how to treat the lymphatic malformation, and they do something called sclerotherapy, and they inject different medicines that kind of help the body's immune system to react and shrink down the tumor. It only made it worse. The doctor said, well, we're gonna have to cut this tumor out. And to cut it out, we kind of knew all along would mean to sever some very important nerves that would cause him to never be able to talk or eat or swallow. And so as a mom, to not ever hear your child's voice was very disheartening. We're a family of faith, and we've been praying that God would heal him, that God would give us answers, just help him to live.
Just prayed for basically a miracle.
A week later, he was actually doing better and his fever was gone. And so they took the IVs out. And then a week after that, the whole tumor just shrunk away and disappeared. Just shrunk away on its own. The doctors don't know why. We say it was a miracle because there's no explanation. And that was about 6 years ago. And he's a great, thriving 7-year-old now, so.
Every night when I put him to bed, I just look at him and I'm just thankful again that here's this kid that shouldn't even be here, that shouldn't have this amazing life, and he's this free-running, crazy, nutty kid who is adventurous and wild and silly and does whatever he wants to do.
All you have to do is just jump.
I think Gideon having so many medical problems really did inspire us to really focus on fun areas of the home. We knew we wanted to make this a fun place for the kids. We really wanted to cherish that time with our kids because our perspective had changed.
A lot of the spaces in the house are designed just with kids in mind.
When Michael and Kristen first came to me and we started talking about the house, one of the first things I always do is ask them to kind of give me a wish list of what they want and what they need. The funniest thing, and I actually looked it up this morning, the email that they had sent me, right on the top of the list was talking about a trapeze, talking about the climbing wall in the living room, talking about belay points off of beams, and all the fun things that they wanted. And then at the very bottom of their list in the living room, it said powder room. And it just cracked me up that we want to do all these other things. And oh, by the way, if we have a bathroom in there, that'd be great. Through House, Kristen created an idea book from the very beginning.
I made an idea book for every room in the house. I mean, living room, kitchen, bathroom, types of furniture that I wanted. When we were thinking about our home, we really wanted more modern contemporary. We wanted clean lines, open spaces.
With 4 kids, it's busy enough. There's a lot of chaos already. We wanted a house to be sort of like this clean slate where it's uncluttered and mentally refreshing.
I created an idea book for everything, and it really helped me keep track of ideas that I liked and things that I wanted, and I was able to share it with the builder and our designer where they could come and say, okay, this is how we can make this work in your home.
The girls' room is a great example, coming up with different ideas. We had probably 15 or 20 different picture ideas of the bed wall.
I like the little reading nook in there.
And even while we're up there with the trim carpenter, deciding how we're gonna build this, doing all the measurements, we were constantly going back to her idea book and pulling these pictures up.
So yeah, it was great, and it came out perfect. They've got 4 bunk beds, it's twin over full bunk beds, and stairs that go up to a little fort area up at the top of their stairs. They all kind of have their space, but again, it's all one big room.
And kept one eye open all night.
We knew that our girls are just going to be living under one roof for a short period of time, and so we wanted them to have that space where they could be together while they're here in our home.
Plus a net so I could catch that bunny.
Gideon's loft bed, all it was a loft, and so we talked about, are we going to put a ladder there? What's that going to look like? Should we do a fire pole? I mean, we threw around several different options. I think it's like 11 feet off the ground. I don't even know, but it's tall. And so he has a rock climbing wall that he climbs to get into his bed.
Off of his loft bed, there's a little door that goes into a little hidden room above his bathroom, a little hideout area in there.
There's the big open playroom with a stage.
And some little fun disco lights and things so the kids can put on shows where they do cover songs, they make up dances. Every kid loves putting on a show. Kids love to do little productions and dances. We've always done that.
When people walk through the door, I want them to be able to see straight through to the back. We have a beautiful view. There's a pond back there.
We wanted stairs you could see through. Joe was able to find someone that did metal work to make a single metal beam that would support floating stairs.
The open stair concept was something that they liked from the very beginning. And so, being able to get it done where it didn't break the bank and to have it turn out the way it did, we were very happy with that.
We like to have people over, so we have a big open living room where a lot of people can hang out. It opens to the kitchen because a lot of people like to hang out in the kitchen. My husband really loves lighting, especially just accent lighting. And so we actually talked to Joe about putting color-changing tape lights within the beams. And so at night, they can glow different colors.
This house, my very favorite time is at night. From outside, you might see purple or blue. We change it for holidays. We might do green and red for Christmas, pastels for Easter.
We can put it the colors of our favorite sports team when it's football season, which we do.
When I was a kid, I would have loved to design a house that was fun, and so I finally got to do it.
Touch the top.
I think the most important part of the build for this house was really just the people. And to see the joy that they got out of all this coming together and knowing that this was going to be such a fun house, to me, that was the best part of this build.
We like outdoor stuff, we like to be active, and so creating fun spaces for our kids to do that inside as well. It's our dream home, and we wanted it to be our kids' dream home.